for joining us for Discover NAU. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak with you about becoming part of the Lumberjack family. As you explore educational opportunities, we recognize that you have many choices, and so I want to thank you for considering NAU. Our number one focus is on your success. We offer a unique educational experience centered on your individual passions, ambitions, and preferences. At NAU, you are part of a close-knit community that provides academic and social experiences that will help you discover who you are and what direction you want your life to take. You will also enjoy the beauty of this region and the community of Flagstaff, ranked as one of the top college towns in the country with a great quality of life. We hope that what you learn today will inspire you to bring your aspirations to NAU. Enjoy today's program and go Lumberjacks!
Good morning and welcome to Discover NAU. Thanks for joining us for another virtual Discover NAU. We had a couple of those this spring. Excited that we're able to join all of you joining us from around the country and around the world to learn more about NAU today. My name is Chad Eichhoff. I serve as Director of Admissions here at Northern Arizona University, and I'm joined by my colleague Annika.
Good morning. My name is Annika Olson, and I serve as the Vice President for Enrollment Management here at Northern Arizona University. Certainly, back to school has never looked like it does today. We know for you seniors and other high schoolers joining us this morning, and you parents, so many adjustments have had to be made. We've adjusted here on campus as well, and you can see some of those listed on the screen. We've changed dining and housing to make sure that students stay safe, socially distancing. All masks are required on campus, and our academics look a little different as well, with changing the capacity in many of our academic classrooms. Our NAU Flex technology and the amazing faculty here have adjusted to make sure they're delivering the high-quality academic experience our students have come to expect. So lots of things look different. Many of the pictures and videos we're going to share with you today were taken pre-pandemic. Never fear, we are practicing social distancing and mask wearing throughout campus, although not all of our video and pictures may show that. So I did want to make mention of that. We also appreciate you joining us virtually for this Discover NAU, or as we like to call it, DNAU, to learn more about what our campus has to offer. Chad's going to get us started with sharing a little bit about our academic structure here at NAU.
And when we talk about fit at an institution, and really I think Discover NAU is about figuring out if NAU is that right fit for you, there's kind of three types of fit you should be looking for. Academic fit, which we're going to start talking about academics first. Then we're going to jump into some things to help you determine social fit, if NAU is the right social fit for you. And then lastly, financial fit is what we'll be looking at. So those are kind of three types of fit that you as a student, you as a family should be considering. Starting off with the academic piece of things, we pride ourselves on trying to keep that class size small, that student to faculty ratio, keep that small as well too, and really individual attention and relationships with students and faculty throughout their educational experience. We have 9 different academic colleges, one of those being our graduate college, which we aren't going to be focusing on specifically today, but we will take a quick look at each of those other 8 academic colleges where your nearly 100 undergraduate programs could fall under. To explore that full list, you can certainly visit our catalog on the website and find all of our degree programs there, but we're going to give you kind of a high-level view to understand how that all breaks down. I should also mention the One NAU component. NAU does have sites throughout the state of Arizona, as well as online programs as well too. And when we had to shift gears this spring with the pandemic, we were able to quickly adapt to the online method because we've been doing online education for a very long time. So we're going to dive into the colleges and start with our College of Arts and Letters.
Great, thanks, Chad. So one thing to make mention of before we jump into all the colleges is to understand as a student here, you will be taking classes in probably almost every college through our liberal studies requirements. So although your major may not be listed in this first College of Arts and Letters, you most likely will be taking at least one or a small handful of classes in this college. The College of Arts and Letters is one that houses the traditional college majors from philosophy, history, and English. It also houses our performing arts, theater, and music, as well as art, with students displaying their artwork throughout numerous galleries around campus. Let's go ahead and listen to a student in the College of Arts and Letters in music education.
In the College of Arts and Letters, specifically being a music education major, you have a lot of opportunities to be in music ensembles, and that would include orchestra, band, and choirs. And something really cool about that is if you audition, you can get a lot of scholarship money for just being in them.
So great to hear from some of our students, and we're going to be bouncing around to some videos so you really get the flavor of what being a student at each of these colleges is like. So let's head over to Chad to talk to us about our next college, the College of Education.
Yeah, our College of Education, certainly a point of pride for us here at NAU. We were founded as Arizona's Teachers College, and to this day, graduate a lot of teachers. We have CAPE accreditation, which we are the first and only institution in the state of Arizona that has that highly prestigious CAPE accreditation. Really pride ourselves on trying to get students in the classroom early on, working with students. But again, we want to let you hear from one of our students. So we're going to hear from Cameron, one of our College of Education students.
So the first thing I did was I joined an intramural soccer team because I've played soccer since I was 3 years old, played competitively in high school, and I wanted to keep that going. I wanted to stay fit in a way that I enjoyed, and that is soccer. Up here, everybody wants to learn, everybody is excited to learn what they're studying, and then it's just a whole different atmosphere because people can just dive deep into their studies and be passionate about what they're doing because they're choosing their path, they're choosing what's going to happen for them down the road, and it just makes the environment completely different. So I am an elementary education major with a concentration in foreign language, and my biggest goal in life is to make an impact, and I think teachers are some of the most influential people in a child's life, and they really do make that impact. And in the terms of going into foreign language, when you work in underprivileged schools, a lot of parents from Spanish-speaking homes cannot speak English, so having that second language is going to be really beneficial when it comes to parent-teacher conferences and things like that. And not only can I make an impact on the students, I can make an impact on their parents too. So I'm taking a class right now, ESC 280, which is a class that talks about students with special needs. And I grew up with a cousin who had Down syndrome, and he was like my best friend growing up. So learning how to work with those kids in schools is going to be really eye-opening to me because I know how to do it on a social aspect, and it might be different because he's family, but learning how to do that on a professional kind of level is going to be really important for me, and I'm really excited to get into my practicum next semester or next year, and I can't wait to like put everything I'm learning into like action and see if this really is the right fit for me.
So great to hear from Cameron. I always love watching his video, and especially that beginning when he's out playing soccer there on the south fields. Our next college is the College of Engineering, Informatics, and Applied Science. That just rolls off the tongue.
Kiosk, I think we try to say.
Kiosk, yes. So a number of different opportunities for students from day one to really enjoy hands-on learning, taking what they apply and learn in the classroom and using it as they're using that design for practice that all the engineering classes enjoy. Certainly, informatics, computing, and cyber systems is an up-and-coming field and has been for a number of years. And our department and college really has so many great opportunities, internships for students to enjoy. Again, to take what they've learned in the classroom and really apply it. Let's go ahead and hear from Cato on his experience in this college.
Hi there, my name's Cato with the College of Engineering, Informatics, and Applied Sciences. Most of the programs within this college are ABET accredited, so the curriculum itself is very hands-on. The professors are very engaging with their students, and you can tell that they want them to succeed. I'm just very blessed to be a part of such a great college.
Thank you, Cato. And Cato is actually going to be joining us for a student panel later at the end of Discover NAU. This is a great time to tell you, if you have questions you would like us to ask students during that panel, we're going to have a couple students joining us. If you could email admissions@nau.edu with that question, and we'll be collecting some of those and looking at those and then asking students those questions later on. So again, admissions@nau.edu if you have questions for our students, and we'll be hearing from Cato a little bit later. So next up is our College of the Environment, Forestry, and Natural Sciences. CEFNS is the acronym that we make that into. And forestry is one I want to draw your attention to. We do have the only forestry program in the state of Arizona, potentially the only forest, debatable there. And we have, because of that, a large university-owned forest where our students are out getting that hands-on experience. One of our other very large programs that we have here on campus is biomedical sciences. And we're going to have the opportunity to hear from Danielle next now, one of our biomedical science students. So let's hear from Danielle.
Hi, so my name is Danielle. I'm from Mesa, Arizona. I'm a junior this year and I'm majoring in biomedical sciences, and I'm double minoring in chemistry and sociology, and I'm also a student in the Honors College. So I do volunteer at the Flagstaff Medical Center in the emergency department. It's mainly comprised of just stocking like the IV cards, patient rooms, interacting with patients as well. And from those experiences, I've learned how triage works essentially. So when a patient is first admitted into the hospital, how they're assessed, and how certain patients are ranked higher in terms of when the physician will see them. I've learned that whole process, which is great. And there's also opportunities to shadow the physicians at the hospital as well. So I've done that numerous times. I've shadowed multiple physicians, and I've seen patients that have cancer, some people that just come in for cardiac problems, and I get to see how they're assessed by the physician, what steps they take after that, how the physicians refer them to other specialties. And that's just really opened up my eyes, and it's a great way to put my foot into the door as I am interested in becoming an emergency room physician myself. And then I also do research here with bioinformatics, mainly looking at the TP53 gene in mammals and investigating that with cancer in mammals and humans. I do take a lot of credits every semester, and then I also do a lot of off-site involvements, and on top of that, I am studying for the MCAT exam for medical school. But for de-stressing, I love to play with all three of my cats. And then I also just do small things that I enjoy, so just playing the violin or reading for like 20 minutes every single night, and just like enjoying that like small little bit of time, and then I can get back to my priorities and focus on school again.
Next is our College of Health and Human Services, and certainly now more than ever, this college is highlighted. I would also like to take a minute to shout out to all of our healthcare workers in our own community as well as communities around the country. Your tireless work during this pandemic is certainly not taken for granted. Our College of Health and Human Services has two competitive programs, both nursing and dental hygiene, and other popular programs such as public health and health sciences, just to name a few. Let's go ahead and hear from Alyssa, who's one of our bright stars in the nursing program.
NAU made me feel really at home whenever I connected with this girl down my hall. We were both living in McConnell at the time, and she was like 2 doors away from me, and we had a hall like dinner at the Dubai Center. So we all went, and she was wearing a cheer jacket, like her old high school cheer jacket, and I was like, oh my god, I cheered, and she was like, I cheered, and so then we connected off of we both cheered, and we established like a friendship. We were both kind of like scared to go out of our comfort zone and scared to meet new people, but we encouraged encourage each other to like go and find new friends and go sit next to people and go to like SI sessions and go to the running of the freshmen, which was really fun. I remember me and her both were super nervous because we were not ready to run a football field. I feeling the adrenaline rush and just sitting down in the stands and like feeling like this is what a college football game feels like, and like kind of feeling like this is NAU. This is going to be where I'm living for the next 4 years. So I think at that moment was like very breathtaking for me. The class that I took that really intrigued me into public health and why I wanted to go this direction was Anatomy 202, and that's the physiology of the human body. So the digestive system, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, and I was just so intrigued by like all of our systems in our body and how they connect and work as one. And it just intrigued me to be like all of our body works in different ways and no one's going to be the same. Like all of our bodies are different, but we have one core function. Like the cardiovascular system's pretty much similar to everyone. I don't know, I just like, NAU just has like this special like feel to it. Like everywhere I go on campus, like I can feel like I'm connected to someone. If it's like the Chick-fil-A worker or like walking into like the math lab, like I feel like they're eager that I'm there and that like, how can I help you, or that kind of feel.
Thank you, Alyssa. Next up, our College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. Lots of very people-focused majors. Psychology, sociology, anthropology, all are going to be within the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Theology school.
The ologies, yes, all of the ologies. Also, within there is going to be the communication focused thing. So our School of Communication falls under the umbrella of the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. So student-run newspapers, student-run radio, student-run television. We're in a television studio right now. Here on campus. So we're going to have the opportunity to hear now from one of our students who decided on a major within the School of Communications under the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. So here's Carrington.
When I started applying for colleges, I was set on staying in California, and my aunt was like, oh, you should check out this school called NAU. I looked at the website and I automatically fell in love with the school based on the website. I don't know what it was, but I signed up for a tour and I came to visit the school, and that just made me want to come here even more. And yeah, I came to NAU. So originally I was a public health major. I ended up switching to comm, and that was the perfect major for me because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have found my internship, which I love. I interned with NAU Social, and it's basically we help run as interns the social media for the school, and we get to go to a lot of events and we get to get content, and sometimes I get to write blogs, which is fun. That's my favorite part. And it's a little family that I got on campus. So definitely don't limit yourself. If anything, like even if you're like me, set on not, or if you were like me, set on not going to school out of state, at least apply, because you never know, you could change your mind. And also, when you do get to school, to just enjoy every minute of it, because it does go by really fast.
Next is the W.A. Franke College of Business. And our College of Business houses our traditional business majors such as marketing, management, and economics. In addition, it houses our very highly ranked School of Hotel and Restaurant Management. You can see some of those bragged rankings there on the screen. And one of the things that is absolutely one of my favorite things to do on campus is to head over to the HRM school and look at what's being cooked up in that test kitchen, from scones to scones, and my favorite food, scones. No, just so many opportunities for students, even out of this college, to interact and learn. Students in this college get hands-on experience through our Student Management Investment Fund, internships with key leaders in the business community around the state, and of course that hands-on experience in the School of HRM with our very own conference center in in collaboration with the city of Flagstaff here on the north part of the Flagstaff campus. So tremendous opportunities for students here. Let's go ahead and listen to a bit more about the Franke College of Business from AJ.
I've absolutely loved my almost 4 years in the College of Business so far. I think the business ones specifically promote an environment of professionalism, which is very helpful in the field of business. My favorite class in my major was Management 340, which was titled Business Ethics. I just found it fascinating how they were able to combine a business class with a philosophy class, and it was a class that was almost completely based on discussion because there was no right answer to some situations, so it's just kind of getting to the resolution of what would be the best for most people, and that's what you'd have to do as a manager. Kind of have to look out for your team and your company as a whole, and I think it's good to practice those. It's just so much fun being around the same people and getting to know them and knowing that you're all striving towards the same goal.
Last but not least of the 8 colleges that we're going to talk about today is our Honors College. And who better to tell you about our Honors College than the Dean of the Honors College? So I'm going to throw it over to Dean Gustafson to hear more about the Honors College.
Hi, my name is Kevin Gustafson. I'm the Dean of the NAU Honors College, and I'm here to invite you to a great academic opportunity here at Northern Arizona University. The NAU Honors College is the small college experience in the middle of a big, bustling research university. 2 main features distinguish our innovative curriculum. One is our approach to liberal studies or general education requirements. Instead of taking large introductory lecture courses in various disciplines, students in the Honors College earn liberal studies credits through taking small, discussion-based interdisciplinary seminars on topics ranging from mystery of the brain to culture, race, and democracy to Harry Potter to Game of Thrones. All students at NAU take a 3-credit capstone in their major. Honors students take a 6-credit capstone. And we encourage students to really think outside the box, to use these projects to meet a specific personal, academic, or professional goal. Some students will do work in their major, other students do something completely different. They may be an engineer by training, but they have a passion for painting. It's a chance for honors students to have a truly individualized educational experience, one that is geared to meeting their personal, professional, or academic goals. The other pride of the Honors College is our brand new Living Learning community, which opened in August of 2018. The Honors Residential College has, on the academic side, has 7 state-of-the-art classrooms. It has honors advising, a writing center, faculty office, administrative offices, all the things you need to have a truly supportive academic community. The residential side has housing for 620 students with 2 different types of rooms. A standard double room has 2 beds, 2 workspaces, but each double room has its own bathroom in it. The other floor plan has 2 entrances, 2 single rooms with a shared bathroom in between. So if you are the kind of student who appreciates small classes with invigorating discussions, who wants a truly individualized educational experience, who appreciates being pushed but also supported as you meet your personal and professional ambitions, then I hope you'll join us at the NAU Honors College. Thank you.
I absolutely love hearing Dean Gustafson talk about the Honors College. You can just hear how passionate he is about honors education here at NAU and the experience that we're giving our students. One experience that I want to plug and talk about, that it's a personal regret of mine that I didn't take advantage of a study abroad experience, is studying abroad. I want to really encourage students to take advantage of study abroad opportunities, and NAU does a great job with study abroad. You can study abroad all around the world, lots of opportunities for that. One program I particularly want to draw your attention to is the Interdisciplinary Global Program, IGP, and with that, it's a 5-year program, and you end up with 2 degrees and spend 1 year abroad. So it's either gonna be a business degree or a STEM degree mixed with a language. So for instance, maybe business and Spanish, and you spend a year abroad in Spain immersing yourself in the culture and in the language. Also, our National Student Exchange, we've got partnerships with institutions around the United States and Canada where you could go there for a semester and maybe check out a potential grad school spot or a city you might want to live in when you complete your degree. But that's enough me talking about it. I want you to see some of the experience that our students have. So let's take a look at this video.
Well, if that video doesn't give you the travel bug, and also one of my greatest regrets of my undergraduate career is not taking advantage of those studying elsewhere opportunities. So certainly check it out. And you saw our students were having some amazing experiences there. Next, I want to talk to you about our number one goal because it involves you as a student and your success. Again, our number one goal is that when you start your educational journey here at NAU, we want you to complete that degree and do so in a way that you're gathering experiences that'll last you a lifetime. So to enable students to be successful in the classroom, we have a number of support systems. They are all listed on your screen. And a little different than some other institutions, our career advising and tutoring services are all free for all students, which is really important to take note of. We have a number of students that work not only on campus, but around the surrounding community. And that's where Handshake comes into play. Students can upload a resume, even do mock interviews and get help with that cover letter for applying for jobs while they're in college or that first job right after they earn their degree. Our Peer Jacks, mentoring programs, and supplemental instruction help to ensure your success in the classroom and get you connected out of the classroom. Because so much of that is about your social fit, as Chad mentioned earlier. One of the biggest mistakes our new students make is not utilizing these services fast enough. So they wait until they get that first midterm grade, and maybe it isn't as easy, and studying isn't as easy as they thought it would be. And so they wait until that point in the semester. Don't wait. Take advantage those study groups, and even now that they're meeting remotely on Zoom and in lots of different creative ways, take advantage. Don't just take my word for it, though. Here's a couple of our renowned faculty members to give you their little nuggets of advice. Let's take a look.
Some general advice for students: don't obsess about your grades. Your grades do not define who you are. Instead, maybe obsess about learning how to learn. If you can develop that, the grades will come.
One piece of advice that I could give to NAU students to be successful would be to learn what an informational interview is and to conduct as many of those as you possibly can.
There are so many different classes and subjects and topics. Sometimes we get focused on one particular path and don't realize that there are so many other things to explore.
If you just work hard, you really work hard, everything else tends to take care of itself. And I really believe that, and I've done that in my life, and it's worked for me.
Put all these deadlines and due dates in your smartphone or whatever else you use to organize yourself, but also schedule time for friends, to go outside, and definitely set a time to go to bed and sleep.
My best advice for students is to communicate with your professors. The more you communicate with us, the better we can communicate with you.
One of the first things you'll see as you come here as a student is that everybody wants to eat up your time because they're hungry for it. You got to defend your space, you got to defend your time, you got to defend a sense of who you are.
Great advice from our faculty. So we mentioned at the beginning the different types of fit. So we kind of first touched on the academic fit, and if you see that yourself fitting in here at NAU. Next up, we're going to talk about the social fit before finally touching on the financial fit thing. So transitioning to the social fit, one of the big parts of fit is the city you live in, right? So Flagstaff, as a college town, I feel lucky to be calling Flagstaff home for the last 12 years. We are much different than the rest of Arizona in many ways. I'm a Minnesota native, and I thought all of Arizona was desert and cactus and really hot. We're in the mountains at 7,000 feet elevation, so we do get all 4 seasons, get a decent amount of snow, but lots of sunshine as well. We are the world's first international dark sky city as well, and with that, we have regulations around light pollution, and the stargazing here is absolutely amazing. The Huffington Post actually named us the best city in the world for stargazing. So while you're here in Flagstaff and at NAU, make sure you're looking up at those night skies. It is absolutely beautiful. Also, outside of the Flagstaff area, lots to explore, and I certainly encourage our students to do so. Many national parks and monuments, just a short drive away from campus. So get out, explore those. Also within the city, our Flagstaff Urban Trail System, which during this time of social distancing, I have certainly utilized those. Most every night after work, I will get out and explore one of those trails around my community and around town and campus. Lots of opportunities to get outside. With those outside opportunities, certainly we utilize that for our classroom, and many of our classes take place outside, but also recreation as well too. And we're gonna take a look at some of our students checking out Chocolate Falls.
Exploration is traveling to a place to learn about it. Here in northern Arizona, you can find places that take your breath away. These NAU hikes give me a sense of discovery, of a place where I belong. Find your place at Northern Arizona University.
So great to look at those Chocolate Falls as just one of the countless areas to explore in the northern part of the state here. And mentioning those urban trails, I've lived here for almost 25 years and found a whole new part of the urban trail the other day while I was out and about on my mountain bike. So just when you think you've seen it all, you find a new section to explore. So exciting to be able to do that. Certainly, being part of a campus community is living in that community. And most of our new first-year students do choose to live on campus. We don't require it, but in any given year, 90% of our new first-year students do choose to live in our campus residential halls. It is a 2-step process. So once you apply and you're admitted to NAU as an institution, and let us know that you plan to be a lumberjack with us, we ask that you apply for housing. And we do that because we organize our residence halls into residential colleges. So you heard Dean Gustafson talk about the Honors Residential College for our honors students. We have residential colleges and organize those by major throughout campus. So for example, if you're a business major, you'll be housed with other business majors. We know this helps with the student success in getting connected, not only in the classroom, but out of the classroom as well. We also have a number of different housing options for transfer students and families as well. So a tremendous amount of opportunities there. So we know in this virtual environment, you don't get to join us on campus and see inside a residence hall. So Carolina's here to do that for us in the next video.
Hi guys, I'm Carolina. I'm a senior here at NAU. My major is Communication Science and Disorders. I'm going to be a third year RA in Gavelton next year. So today I'm just going to be taking you on a room tour. Cool, so to start off, we're going to start talking about the beds here. All of the beds are loftable and bunkable, and you can adjust them for storage. So it takes about 2 or 3 people to adjust the bed, just so you're aware. Moving on, each student in this space has their own desk, and then they also have their own drawer space in the room, as you can see. So each room comes with their own closets for each student, so there's a lot of space for clothing and other valuables. So each room also comes with their own fridge. It's pretty spacious, so just like be courteous to your roommate and just talk about that things, communicate. NAU has their own virtual reality that you can go on to the NAU website. It's very specific to the room that you're staying in, so just go look that up to see kind of like how your room is set up, and then you'll be ready for move-in day.
So I want to make mention that none of our residence hall rooms where residents live have glass doors. We have that glass door on that room because it is our showroom that we show when students come to visit us. So I did want to make note of that. I also wanted you to make note of that those refrigerators are fully capable of housing full half-gallon ice cream containers. Another favorite of mine.
That's an important insight there. Yes, good to know.
It's critical. It's not like one of those little tiny refrigerators where you can't do that. Speaking of food, next is our on-campus dining options. Most of our students have and enjoy one or all of their meals on campus. We have over 25 different retail locations and 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining facilities. Certainly today those are spread out, and we've even included some outdoor dining spaces in many of those. But if you didn't want to go to one of those places, you could use one of the Starship food delivery robots. And as I was on my walkabout around campus today, during lunchtime, I was witnessed to 4 robots as I was walking on the trail delivering food to students right during lunchtime. So
the robots are working very hard right now. Yes.
The robots are working extremely hard right now. As I mentioned, there's a number of meal plans to choose from and dining dollars, and even as a staff member, we choose one of those plans. So we can enjoy whether it's Einstein's or coffee at Starbucks or in our $18.99 bar and grill, which you see there on the screen. But don't take my word for it. Corbin's going to share with you a couple of his favorites. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, I'm Corbin, just outside of our University Union, where a lot of different dining options are here for students. Here at NAU, we've got 27 different dining options, ranging from Chick-fil-A and Denny's to Einstein Bros Bagels and Jamba Juice, and anything in between a student can find their liking here on campus. My personal favorite is called the Green Scene. It's on the 3rd floor of the HLC, so once you're here at NAU, definitely come check it out.
Thank you, Corbin. Another important thing we want to talk about now is transportation. Getting around campus, getting to and from campus is certainly a common question that we get. You do not need a car on campus, and a lot of transportation that we have in terms of our campus buses to get around. We're bicycle friendly as a campus, and we even have our free yellow bike program where you can rent a bike for a couple weeks at a time and utilize that to get around campus and get around the Flagstaff community. Also pictured on this slide is our city bus line, that blue bus that you see there, and that cuts through campus and will take you downtown and take you to shopping off campus. As far as the getting to and from campus piece, we're about 2 hours from Phoenix, and there is a shuttle that you can take. A private company operates a shuttle system that you can take from the Phoenix airport to Flagstaff and get dropped right off on campus. So that's certainly an option. We do have a Flagstaff airport as well. From Flagstaff, you can fly down to Phoenix to connect. You can fly to Denver, Colorado, as well as Dallas, Texas. So that's a common question we get. Families want to know how their students going to get to and from campus and get home on the holidays. So those are some of those options for you.
Campus safety is one of our major concerns here on campus, and today that means something quite different than it did even a few short months ago. We want to make sure all students are safe, so that's why we lock our residence halls, and students that live in that residence hall use their JAX card or their student ID card to gain access to those halls. One of the most exciting things that I look at almost every day, because there's new things being added, is our new NAU Safe app. And parents, I did want to make mention that you can download this app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store as well, and program it so it gives you the updates for your student-specific campus. On that app, students can track their friends to know when they're going to arrive, maybe if they're meeting at the library or grabbing a cup of coffee or food together. They can also report a crime tip if they saw something on campus or around campus. And if they're at the library studying late at night and they're by themselves and they'd like another student to safely socially distance walk them back to their residence hall, they can request that on that app as well. It's really the one-stop shop or app for all of campus safety needs. So again, parents, you can definitely download this as well. Next, no matter how you identify or the culture you're a part of, there's a place for you here at NAU. From our Native American Cultural Center, one of my very favorite spots on campus, to our student veteran services and disability resources, just to name a few. Our Office of Inclusion has been hosting diversity dialogues all summer long to really help everyone on campus understand the importance of acceptance and respect in this very tumultuous time that we've experienced in the last couple months. We want you to feel at home here at the university and are open to feedback and experiences and are hopeful to share those across the campus community.
So clubs and organizations are something that I would highly encourage students to get involved with. Right now, we've got over 400 clubs and organizations, and that number has gone up every year I've been here for the 12 years I've been at NAU.
You know what's crazy, too, is that those clubs and organizations, even during this socially distanced time where they haven't been able to host the big celebrations and meetings that they've been used to, have come up with some tremendously creative way to stay connected.
Absolutely. And we've got, within those clubs and organizations, sports clubs, you've got fraternity, sorority life, if those are things that are of interest to you, political-based, faith-based, all kinds of clubs and organizations. And if you come here and you realize that you don't find the right club or organization within those 400 plus, you, a handful of your friends, and then a faculty or staff advisor can create a new club or organization. And Sun Entertainment, we're always bringing entertainment here to campus, movies, concerts, guest lecturers here. Certainly we're getting creative in this time of social distancing to be able to still provide entertainment opportunities for our students. You'll see a picture there of our dive-in movies. That's a pre-COVID time, doing the dive-in movies in our Olympic-sized swimming pool.
I know they did a drive-in one, though, I think this fall a couple times already.
You're right,
so.
Yep. So athletics is certainly a part of that college experience, cheering on your fellow Lumberjacks. We are NCAA Division I for our college athletics. Every student with your ID get in free to all the athletic events. We are traditionally very strong in those distance endurance type sports. Being at 7,000 feet elevation, we've got Olympians coming from all around the world to train. And our men's cross country team, certainly a point of pride for us. They won 3 straight national titles. And our women's swimming and diving team, which competes in the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference, has won 7 straight WAC titles now. I absolutely love, though, our student athletes get it done not only on the court, on the field, in the pool, but in the classroom, in the community as well. And I want to give you the opportunity to hear from one of our student athletes. So let's throw it to DJ.
It's all the classes, it's all the practices. I mean, there's so many points where I really wanted to give up. You know, it was so hard. I just constantly remember my parents saying, if it's too easy, you know, you're not gonna get anything out of it. I can attribute 100% of my success to my parents. My father and I, we both blood, sweat, and tears on the same field. Without NAU, I don't think that I would have the opportunities that I could have in the future. It's really built me and molded me into what I am now. My name is DJ Arnson. I'm a biomedical science major and chemistry minor, and I'm a Lumberjack.
So as Chad mentioned earlier, there are really 3 types of fit we want to make sure you as a family consider prior to going to any institution. So academic fit, social fit, and the third being financial fit. We know that college is a significant investment for the student and the whole family, and we do our best to make sure those costs are predictable. So what you see on the screen are 3 different tuition rates. One for the residents of Arizona, one for our non-residents, and one for WUE students, W-U-E. And what that stands for is Western Undergraduate Exchange, which I'm going to explain in just a moment. What you see on the right side of your screen are those additional costs. So not things that are necessarily paid to the university, depending on where you choose to live, but things that you need to take into consideration as you're considering the whole cost picture prior to attending any institution. So books and supplies, for example. We know that there are books and supplies that students need each and every term they're enrolled. Sometimes those books and supplies are less, and sometimes they might be a little more depending on your major and if there's resources to gather online, etc. A number of our faculty really work hard to make sure that those things are quite reasonable for students. But things you need to take into account. Now let's get back to that WUE tuition rate. If you reside in one of the yellow highlighted territories or states on your screen, once you're admitted to NAU, you will automatically qualify for that WUE tuition rate. And you see that tuition rate of our current academic year on the screen. All of our tuition rates will be set in mid to late spring by the Arizona Board of Regents. So we will update that information on our websites and our publications, as well as on our slides that we're sharing with you when that information becomes available. Important to note here, a number of institutions treat WUE as a scholarship, so an additional application. We do not. You will automatically get this tuition rate once you're admitted to NAU to the Flagstaff campus.
So to help with those costs, we have several different scholarship opportunities. And the first one I want to talk about is the top scholarship that we give to our Arizona resident students. We're going to be looking at for a 3.5 or above unweighted core GPA to qualify for the Lumberjack Scholars Award. And we're going to show you the core courses in just a moment, so you'll have an understanding, but it's 16 core courses that we look at for admissions and also utilize for scholarship purposes as well. Also within those 16 core courses, we're looking for no letter grade lower than a B and also no deficiencies in any of those 16 core courses, meaning you took all 16 of those. This is just looking at those courses and the GPA, so ACT scores and SAT scores are not needed for that. And this award is up to full tuition. We have some additional awards as well, which you're seeing on the screen now. For our Arizona residents, for our WUE, those Western Undergraduate Exchange students, and for our true non-residents. Again, we're looking at the unweighted core GPA calculated off of those 16 core courses. And you can see the different levels there that you can be awarded. Want to draw your attention to that test scores are not needed for these scholarships. And I know many students, because of the pandemic, maybe their test-taking plan was interrupted. Know that you can still be admitted, and you also can be considered for scholarships without test scores. That being said, if you have a test score, send it our way. It can only help you. Test scores will never hurt you. So if you have one, certainly report that when you are applying.
So Chad mentioned those 16 core courses, and that is what you see listed here on the screen. Those 4 years of English, 4 of math, 3 of lab science, 2 years of social science, with one of those being U.S. American history, 2 years of the same second language, and 1 year of art or CTE. And so that's career and technical education. So lots that can fall under that area as well. As Chad mentioned, test scores are completely optional for you. You don't need them to get admitted to the institution, But as Chad mentioned, they can only help you. So want to make note of that. And if you haven't yet applied to NAU, you can do so simply by going to nau.edu/apply. Now, we know a number of you that registered with us today have already been admitted to the university. Congratulations. Chad's going to talk through what the next steps are going to be for you to take to secure your spot.
Absolutely. So again, I want to echo Annika's congratulations. Those of you that have applied and been admitted to the institution, that's NAU's way of saying yes to you. Your way of saying yes to NAU is by paying that enrollment deposit. So you'll go nau.edu/acceptmyoffer and pay your enrollment deposit there, $250, to then confirm your spot for this upcoming class. After you've done that, it's going to open up the option for you to do some additional steps. So if you are choosing to live on campus, that housing application will be open this fall, completing priority enrollment, which begins that communication with your academic advisor about exactly confirming what major you want to take, and maybe if you took some AP coursework ahead of time or some college coursework ahead of time, you could report that in there. And then you'll also register for orientation. Now, this last summer, we did have to pivot to a virtual orientation experience, and certainly we'll be assessing that, but there will be some sort of orientation experience for you as a student.
And for families as well.
Absolutely.
We know this transition to college is significant, certainly for all of you students, but also for you parents and guardians and family members as well. So we do offer an orientation, and that's really what that $250 enrollment deposit covers. So there's no additional charges for students or guests to attend and experience that amazing orientation.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're not sure what list of things you need to do, nau.edu/next steps is going to be the listing of what you need to do. It's been great telling you about NAU. Hopefully, you've got a sense of if we might be the right fit for you, but there's no better way to find out if we're the right fit than to hear from some more actual students. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to wipe down the set here and invite up a couple of our students to join us here and answer some of the questions that you've been emailing in.
Great. Thanks so much. Go Lumberjacks.
Go Lumberjacks.
Go Jacks!
This is Northern Arizona University. It's the one with the mountains, the pines, the dome, the Lumberjacks. It's the one on the Mother Road with 100 years of tradition, which looks like this, that, or this. A unique place where you can learn here or here.
It's really beautiful, I love it.
It's a community that cares, because that's what Lumberjacks are. See, NAU helps people who can look at microorganisms and see global impacts. People who understand helping one person walk moves us all forward. That opportunity is the only thing that can limit achievement. Lumberjacks stand together, passing traditions onto the next generation, sharing the stuff we love, the moments we remember. It's the pride that shapes the university, that shapes us. This is Northern Arizona University. We are proud, we are loyal, we are Lumberjacks.
Welcome back. Lots of great questions coming in. My team's been compiling them and emailed me a summary list of some of the top questions and themes that have come in via email. Annika has swapped out and we wiped down the desk and all of that, and I'm joined now by two of our True Blue ambassadors here on set. We've got Cato and Sierra, and I'm gonna give them an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Thanks, Chad. Hi there, my name's Cato. I'm originally from Mesa, Arizona. I'm here at NAU studying mechanical engineering. I'm a junior this year, which is kind of crazy because it doesn't feel like I've been here that long. And my pronouns are him, his.
Why did you choose NAU, Cato? We're gonna throw that question in there too.
Totally. So I chose NAU. The story about it is kind of an unconventional one because I haven't really taken a formal visit here. Rather, I came to visit my sister up here, who was a senior at the time. And I got to know some of her friends, got to have a good time with some of them. And it's kind of funny, even though me and my sister are really good friends, we're still siblings, so we bicker like cats and dogs. So when I came up here, I wasn't used to being that nice to her, and she wasn't used to being that nice to me. And eventually I just decided that it was something in the air of Flagstaff that meant that I was supposed to be here.
That fresh mountain air, maybe?
Exactly, yeah. It just caused us to be kind to each other, I guess.
There we go. And fun fact, Cato, I think, is the one ambassador that's taller than I am. I don't know how tall you are, but
Yes.
definitely I look up to Cato when he's in the office.
6'9" for those of you wondering.
Wow. Now, Sierra, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I am Sierra. I am from Peoria, Arizona. I am also a junior on campus this year. I am studying elementary education with a certificate in early childhood, and my pronouns are she and hers.
Awesome. And for you, how about that? Why did you choose NAU question?
So I chose NAU because my brother is also from NAU, or he went to NAU and he attended college. And also I am from Phoenix, so I wanted to get out of the hot weather and kind of feel like I was out of state while also getting an in-state experience and also the great scholarship opportunities that NAU offers.
Great. So there's a couple of questions here. I'm going to kind of mash them into one question a little bit. The idea of something that you wish you knew before going to college, or you could also, what was the best advice that you would give your senior self if you were a high school senior again, knowing what you know now? So kind of that looking back on it, what advice, if you're talking to a high school senior, would you give now?
Yeah, so coming to Flagstaff my freshman year and getting ready to be here for my senior year of high school, I kind of knew that Flagstaff was more snow than what I was used to. I super underestimated it though. So I wish I had at least a few more winter coats when I had come up here rather than just one. Also, it's rather rainy here too. So sometimes you need a coat for those rainy days where it's not exactly snowing or freezing outside, but it's just a little bit chilly. So I wish I had known that coming into college.
Sometimes we can get all 4 seasons in one day here in Flagstaff.
Very much
certainly
so,
seems
yep.
like, and I think the saying is if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's gonna change, and we'll get all those seasons in one day. How about advice that you would have, Sierra?
So I have similar advice about the weather, but also on the school aspect. I would just tell myself to make sure I'm organized and I have a planner. When I first came to college, I didn't have a planner, so the first day of college was a little difficult, like trying to write down all of the assignments that I had due and everything. So having a planner is like a great thing to have on your first day of college, to just put all your assignments in there, as well as just to like relax and just enjoy the experience as well.
You both touched on this a little bit within your answer, but how is college different than high school?
Ooh, I'm gonna throw that one to Sierra first.
All right, we'll put Sierra on the spot first.
So I think that college differs from high school because it's more based on your experience. High school, everyone kind of is studying the same things, whereas in college, everyone is focused kind of on what they want to do in their future. So you get to choose what schedule you have, what time you go to classes, and everything like that. So I would say that is something that definitely differs from high school.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Something I will add a little bit and touch on it is just the freedom aspect of college compared to high school. I know that's what I liked when I came to college, because if I wanted to go hang out with my friends one night, I could do that. You know, if I wanted to focus on my homework one night, I could also do that. So it was never me waiting for the dinner bell either in college. I could choose when to snack, when I eat my goldfish in the late afternoon. Just little things like that. I think it causes college to be a lot more beneficial than high school in my experience.
Which I think cues up one of these questions really well. Do you have any time management tips?
Ooh.
You talked about all the freedom that's there and that ability to choose your schedule. What's the best way to manage your time?
Yeah, I know Sierra mentioned it, but I also will. Get a planner. You're going to want a planner because the due dates are going to stack up and it's going to be really, really hard to manage, at least in my personal experience. Coming from a mechanical engineering major, I'm certainly no stranger to homework. So that's my biggest tip for time management. Although maybe Sierra might have more.
So definitely going off that planner thing, I love to plan out when I'm doing homework and things like that. So I definitely set aside time at nights, and I'm like, these are the days that I can hang out with friends in the week, and then these are days that I can do homework and get that done. So that's kind of how I do.
Good. Recently, I started plugging things into my calendar as well. Yeah, that's something I haven't picked up on yet, but have recently done that this year.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yes. So Flagstaff, awesome spot to live. I feel lucky to live here. The question is, what are some of the top things you would recommend for having fun in and around Flagstaff?
Man, it's hard to answer that when there's just so much to do. Personally, I love going to the local spots downtown, the food joints. There's a few concert venues, although maybe not, in the height of a pandemic right now, but I know I enjoyed going to those with my friends. I also like camping. There's tons of spots in the Northern Arizona region to camp. And obviously, I think a lot of our students here capitalize on that opportunity.
Anything to add, Sierra?
Yeah, so I definitely love being outdoors as well. So there's a lot of things to do outdoors. If you like to go skiing or snowboarding, you can go up to Snowball, as well as we do have Lowell's Observatory if you're into like looking at the stars or planets or things like that. As well as if you do want to stay on campus, we do have Sun Entertainment, who hosts movies every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so that's definitely a great experience to go with your friends and watch a free movie, get some free popcorn and a free drink as well.
This question here, absolutely love it. Any advice for making friends on campus? So I know it's, always a nerve-wracking thing going to live in a new place. Am I going to make friends? That kind of thing. Any advice for students when they come to campus to make friends? Sierra, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my favorite piece of advice, if you are living on campus inside of our residential halls, definitely keeping your door open when you first come to school, because then you can just say hi to anyone walking by. Some of your neighbors can pop in, and I think that's a really great way to make friends, as well as if you want to join any clubs, then you can meet people that have similar interests to you.
So over the summer, I'm an orientation leader as well. I'll just preface that. I always like to challenge my orientees to, especially during the first few weeks here, say yes to almost everything, unless it's something that you feel very, very uncomfortable with, say yes, because the college years, they're finite. You're only going to have so many of them. You want to spend the time here making memories. So that's what I always challenge my orientees to do. I just try to give that advice to them before they come here, so they're a little bit more comfortable. They can put their cool cards aside for a little while and, really get to having some fun.
Yep, absolutely. And with over 400 clubs and organizations, plenty of opportunities to say yes to getting involved with things. I was wondering if each of you could talk about maybe some of the things you're involved with on campus, whether it be organizations, clubs, things along those lines.
Yeah, so my job on campus, being an ambassador, it does keep me pretty busy along with my homework load. However, I'm no stranger to intramural sports. I love playing volleyball with some friends. I was even on a basketball team last year, even though I'm not really a basketball player, but I know
I think when you're 6'9", I think
yeah,
you can do all right.
I can grab a rebound when I need to, for sure. But I'm very heavily involved in intramural sports. And then I also have gone to a few open gyms for the men's volleyball club team here on campus. So we have our varsity NCAA sports on campus. We also have our sports clubs, which are still competitive. They travel a little bit. They go to tournaments and such to play other colleges and universities. And then we also have our intramural sports, which is a little more laid back, about one game per week. So it fits really well with my mechanical engineering schedule.
Perfect. And Sierra, how about things that you're involved with on campus?
Yeah, so along with Cato, I also have participated in intramural sports, and that's definitely a great way to get involved if you just want to get some exercise in, as well as I am very involved since I'm an education major. I'm involved with some clubs through the education college, just so that I can go ahead and set up some opportunities for my future. And also being ambassador on campus is a great way to get involved too.
It would not be a panel without a question about cars and if you need a car on campus. That's always coming in with every panel that we do. So do we need a car? Cato?
Yeah, so my first year here on campus, I actually didn't have a car. It was actually being used by my sister since she lived off campus, and she was a senior that year, so she kind of needed it a little bit more than I did. I would like to believe that if I was ever taking someone out on a date or anything like that, she would have let me borrow it. However, my last 2 years here at NAU, I have had a car, and it's definitely been a useful tool to have. Getting on and off campus, going to grocery stores and different places within the Flagstaff community. It's very beneficial for that. Also, I will add, my freshman year when I didn't have a car, it was also rather easy to get from A to B just because I made friends who have cars, and whether they're going down to Phoenix and I want to go visit my family or something like that, or whether they're going to the grocery store, they could call me up, take me along.
So make friends with the car.
For sure.
Okay, good advice. Sierra, need a car or no?
I would say it's not a necessity, but if you want to bring up your car, I say go ahead. My freshman year also didn't have my car up here, but I got around very easily because everything in Flagstaff is really close into walking distance. If you are living on campus, it's only about like a 10-minute walk to downtown from campus, as well as we do have a bus system that will run through campus. It can take you to Walmart as well as to downtown right off of campus. And I do have my car up here now, and I do enjoy having it. So if you do want to bring it, I say totally go for it.
Important note, if you do bring that car, you do need to purchase a parking permit. So that is an additional cost that you'll want to consider as a student and a family. I'm going to throw this question to you, Sierra. Do you feel safe on campus? If you could talk a little bit about campus safety.
Yeah, so I definitely feel super safe on campus. When living on campus, all of the residence halls do lock, and you can only get into that residence hall if you live there. So you just swipe your card to get in. So that made me feel safe that no one that wasn't supposed to be there was ever getting into the residence halls. As well as we do have a blue light system on campus where it's every time that you're at a blue light pole on campus, then you can look 360 degrees around and you will see another one. So if you do feel unsafe, then you can run to the next one, press that button, and then the NAU PD can track you within like 3 minutes to that next pole. As well as we do have campus safety aids, so you can call our non-emergency number and someone can send out on campus and they can meet you at your location and go ahead and walk you to anywhere else on campus. So if I was ever at the library super late and I felt unsafe, I could call that number and then they would go ahead and walk me to my residence hall when I lived on South Campus. So I thought that was a really nice addition.
Great. We've got time for 2 more questions here. Favorite class you have taken so far and why?
Art appreciation.
As an engineering major.
As an engineering major.
Yes.
I mean, I love my engineering classes, don't get me wrong, but art appreciation was cool for me specifically, just because it was kind of like an escape from, the typical hustle that is being an engineering major. You got to do 1 painting per week in watercolor, which I really, really enjoyed. I've even picked up more acrylic painting since I've been quarantining for so long. So I think that was probably the most beneficial one. It really made me stop, find some time for myself to just focus and hone in on anything that I really need to do later on. That makes sense.
Yep, I love that. Yeah, great advice to dabble in something new, try something outside of
Definitely.
your major as well. Sierra, how about for you? Favorite class and why?
Yeah, so my class was actually education based. So it was ESE 280 and it's an Intro to Disabilities class. And what I really enjoyed about it was my professor because he was blind. So it was really nice to get that aspect of working with disabilities and things like that and learning a new way that I can learn myself. Just because a lot of times we rely visually on learning things, but it was really nice to see a new way to learn.
Great. So last question we're going to close with here. What is your favorite thing about NAU?
I'm going to throw that one to Sierra first, too.
Put Sierra on the spot first. All right.
So my favorite thing about NAU is all of the opportunities that we offer. There's a lot of scholarships that you can take when coming to NAU, as well as there is a bunch of internships that you can get involved in that will set you up for your career in your future, as well as all the different events that we host on campus, like the concerts and the movies, all through Sun Entertainment, and it's all free for students to attend. So that's probably my favorite thing about NAU.
Seem like a few favorite things.
Yeah, I have so many.
I'm also going to break up my answer into multiple pieces. Physically, my favorite part about campus and NAU's campus particularly is all of the beautiful spots on it. There are so many quads and little nooks and crannies that are so peaceful. You know, you can hammock there, maybe play some spike ball with some friends, which I always have appreciated. Emotionally though, my favorite part about NAU is the people. Just getting to know everybody, and if you couldn't tell already, for the folks at home, I'm very people-based. I'm a very big extrovert. So just getting to know those who I've come to love so much. I'm getting emotional. Yeah. Goodness. Just getting to know those that I've come to love so much has made being here so extraordinary.
Thanks. I'm going to get emotional too. I don't know how I wrap up after that, but thank you so much, Cato and Sierra, for joining us here on set. We're going to toss it to a video to hear from one of our students doing some undergraduate research, which is certainly an opportunity you can take part in here on campus. And then Annika and I will come back up on set here to close it out. So take a look at this video.
What we're trying to figure out is relationships between communities of microbes that live in mammal guts and Alzheimer's symptoms. Being able to possibly reduce patients' and family suffering by learning more about the disease mechanisms would be tremendously satisfying. My name is Chris, and I'm a lumberjack.
Thank you again for joining us for this morning's Discover NAU. Remember, we like those 3 types of fit: academic, social, and financial. And your student success is our #1 priority. We know we presented a lot of information, so if you want to review any of the videos or visit us virtually, you can do so at nau.edu/virtual. A ton more videos from our students, faculty, and other team members to help you understand if NAU could be the right fit for you. Regardless, we wish you the best of luck in a successful academic year, and thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely. And if you've got individual questions, certainly reach out on email, admissions@nau.edu. And also, we are willing to schedule individual appointments with you, be it over Zoom or over the phone. And you can do that by emailing admissions.appointment@nau.edu. And we're happy to sit down virtually with you as a family and talk through any of those things that can help determine if NAU is that right fit for you. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be healthy, and we hope to see many of you on campus in the future. Go Lumberjacks!